All right, hola. My name is Beth Van Oss, and today I'm going to share with you a grammar grab and go. We are working on different meanings of words in context, and today the verbs that we're going to talk about are andar versus caminar, andar versus estar. So the verb andar is the main focus. Welcome. The mission statement at Laurel Springs is to engage global learners in an education that values them as individuals, integrates their passions and pursuits into academic and career pathways, and fosters inquiry, growth, mastery, purpose, and independence. Today, we're going to work again on the uses of some verbs such as andar versus caminar, andar versus estar, and how they're used in context to distinguish between them. We have some resources here if you're interested in looking those up as well. So let's just talk about caminar. Caminar means to walk. So it can be used on its own. I walk every day. Yo camino. That's a sentence, right? But you can also be more specific about that sentence and add things to it. Yo camino en la playa con mis perros todos los días. Cuando hace frío, cuando hace calor. So you can really have more detail with that verb, right? It can stand on its own. Versus the word andar is more like, sometimes it's used as a word like to stroll, but when you use andar versus caminar, you might say, can I do that? And the simple answer is yes, but it depends. There's always depende, no? So when we say I walk, you want to say yo camino, right? However, if you want to say, can't I say yo ando? Like I stroll around. You could say that, but it's more common with andar to have an object afterwards. So, for example, what's the object of that? The direct object of that sentence or the prepositional phrase, en la playa. So, in that case, you could say yo ando en la playa, yo camino en la playa. They're both acceptable, but when we do andar, we need something extra afterwards. Here in this highlighted area, it says yo camino en el camino. That sounds confusing. So I walk, but remember that camino can sometimes be a pathway like that. So that's one of the uses of andar versus caminar. They're both used, they're both acceptable, but with andar, you want to have more information afterwards. Whereas caminar, you have more options to just simply keep it and let it be by itself. The other thing with andar, right, is a medio de transporte. So how are you getting yourself to Mexico or to Italy or wherever it is you're going, to San Francisco, whatever? So you use the verb andar plus a method of transportation. So you might ask, ¿Cómo andas para viajar a México? ¿Andas por avión? ¿Andas por tren? Yo ando, so it's an AR verb. In the present tense, it's normal. Yo ando por avión a la Ciudad de México. You can also get other places by foot, by bicycle, by motorcycle, by horse, whatever, by vehicle. So you'll say ando en bicicleta, ando en moto, short for motocicleta. Those are all acceptable ways to do that too. Another use of andar is a question that people have is, can I use it instead of a star? And the short answer is yes, you can. So this is used as a state of being. So you might say, yo estoy bien, yo estoy mal, yo estoy frustrada, yo estoy whatever, right? That's the verb estar. I'm doing well, I'm doing poorly today. It's a feeling, it's an emotion. However, you could also replace or use, instead of a star, you could use andar. It's a movement of thoughts. Like, how are things going in your life? How are things passing along? How are they going along? So we could use a star, like we could say this on the right-hand side, ¿Cómo están las cosas? ¿Qué tal las cosas? Another way to say that. Las cosas, todo bien? Sí, todo está bien. Or yo estoy bien. These are feelings, emotions. How are things moving in your life, right? But you could also use andar. ¿Cómo andan las cosas? Las cosas andan bien. So this is very common, but you might use this maybe more informally than you might use a star. But the point is you have choices. So this is another way that you'll see this. This is super common in Mexico. So how about yo ando bien? Yes, you can say I'm doing well. It's going well. So it's a state of being. Here's another example. I am traveling with my family. You could say the ing thing, right? Ando, yendo. Estoy viajando con mi familia. But you might say, can't you say ando viajando? I am going along, traveling with my family. Yes, you and absolutely can say that. So andar would turn to ando viajando con mi familia. And so how about location? Because a star also uses location. Could you say yo estoy en el parque? A star. Could you say yo ando en el parque? I'm in the park. Doesn't always mean you're strolling. It just means like you're at that location. But you might be more specific, as we referred to the earlier slide here, to say right here, like as to walk. Yes, you could say that too. So the uses of andar, it's a verb of movement, not necessarily in walking, but general movement. It's a little bit different than caminar that way. So we would use it as a mode of transport, and we would also use it as a state of being. So those are some of the uses of andar. So why not simply replace andar instead of estar or caminar? Some things can be synonymous, such as feelings, but you can't do it in every case. For example, if you say the food is good versus bad, and you're making a judgment call on that food, you would say, está bien, está muy buena, me gusta, porque está muy buena, el cocinero es excelente, right? Esta noche, especialmente esta noche. So you're being specific about tonight's food is really good. But you can't say la comida anda buena. That is not a translatable thing. It's different. So similarly, caminar is more specific than andar as a but you can attach it with a mode of transport. So andar is more like you're moving by foot, or you're moving by bicycle or by plane or something. So it's pretty cool and slang to use andar. You can practice with it, start noticing it, have fun with it. It's very, very common, and it helps to differentiate and be able to use different verbs instead of always staying with the same verb. And as you are starting to read things, then you might say, oh yeah, now that I know this, I'm starting to notice this and to practice with it. So that is the verb andar versus caminar, or andar versus estar. They're similar, but they're slightly different. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, we are happy to help you in the World Languages Department. Let us know how to support you in your learning. Thank you.